What's going on, guys? Josh here from Momentum Productions, and today I'm going to present to you the Portkeys HH7 7-inch monitor along with the Claymore transmission system. So this is the perfect system for those of you who use, let's say, a wireless follow focus, or you just want a simpler setup without a lot of cables dangling around and all that mess. We want to keep things as simple as possible, especially for those of you who are run and gun filmmakers. Now don't forget that this is two separate products. One is the monitor and one is the transmission system. So let's start off by talking about the monitor. The monitor is rated at 1200 nits of brightness, so this is perfect for those of you who want to use it in bright, sunny weather. Also, you don't need a hood. And if you want to check out their even brighter monitor, I suggest that you check out this video right here where I review one of their brightest monitors that they've ever created. So this monitor gives you 1900 by 1200 resolution. It supports up to a 4K signal but downreses it to full HD. It can also give you 4K output, so there is an input and an output HDMI signal. It runs off of Sony MPF style batteries, and you have 4 function keys at the top of the screen along with a power switch. On the bottom we have our HDMI inputs and outputs, a power connection, and a USB connection for allowing you to load in 3D LUTs. And don't forget, we also have a headphone output so you can also monitor audio. On the sides of the monitor we have 1/4 20-inch ports, which allows you to mount this monitor in different orientations. The monitor can support up to 2 Sony MPF style batteries, and they're hot swappable, meaning that you can load one at a time and then swap them out when one battery runs low. The overall build quality of this monitor is excellent. It has a thin profile, and the overall texture and the materials they use to make this monitor makes this not feel cheap, and I like that matte finish. Now let's move on to the HD transmitter. This is called the Claymore, and it has up to 30 meters of range. Now don't forget, you also have to have an open area. It does not take obstructions very well. What's in the box of the transmitter? Well, we get a shock-proof case. Once we open it up, we can access both the transmitter and the receiver. The transmitter comes in a larger size, while the receiver is slightly smaller. Now what's really unique about this whole system is that it fully integrates with the HH7 7-inch monitor. For example, the receiver hooks up to the pin connectors on the back of the monitor, and that actually functions as both the power source and the HD signal. So you don't need any HDMI cables with this setup. Now with the transmitter, you do need an HDMI connection to your camera. While the transmitter is made out of plastic, the receiver is made out of aluminum. Be careful, these units do get hot. The transmitter has 2 different power sources. You can use the included P-tap connection cable to run off of an external battery, or you can use the built-in Canon adapter to power off Canon batteries. When it comes down to signal inputs, we actually have 2 different types of signal inputs. We have SDI in and HDMI in. And on the receiver, we have HDMI out, so you can hook up multiple monitors. Using the 1/4 20-inch port on the bottom of the transmitter, I can mount it anywhere I want, especially when I'm using my motorized slider. These tools are great, especially for those of you who are run and gun shooters, and if you're like me, shoot a lot of interviews. In my home, I demoed an interview, and I show you exactly how I mounted this setup. I used a C-stand clamp, and I was able to mount the power source and the transmitter. The receiver mounts directly onto the monitor. Now I did use some extra accessories such as a dual ball head and some other screws, so if you're interested to check out those accessories, go ahead and check out the links for them in the description box below. They are necessities. I do think that every filmmaker needs them, and they're pretty cheap too. When it comes down to lag, there's actually 0 lag. You can see here as I move my hand and play around with my dogs that there's absolutely no lag at all, and it transmits full HD. Off to the side, I have my Sony a7S with the transmitter connected to it, and I have the HH7 along with the receiver connected to it. So let's power it on and I'll give you a live demo of what it can do. So now we're all hooked up wirelessly, no HDMI cables dangling around. Absolutely love it. And the most awesome thing about this transmitter and receiver is that it sucks only 7 watts of power. So you can get away with using one of these Sony skinny MPF style batteries. I hooked it up to the battery mount and it powers beautifully. Now the battery mount is an extra accessory, so if you want to pick that up, go ahead and check out the link for it in the description box below. And of course, I'm going to link both of these products as well. So as I mentioned before, we have 4 function keys at the top here of this monitor, just like the other Portkeys monitors. We have the menu button, menu dial, and exit button. And as we cycle through the functions here, we have audio meters. These are already pre-programmed. We have focus peaking, false color, and we have our histogram. And you can change these within the menu. You can also access your LUT configurations as well. This button up here can change your input source, so you can go to the regular HDMI signal, or you can go to the contacts in the back of the monitor that is used to connect to the receiver, which is the wireless video input. Now you can use this wireless transmitter for any type of monitor, but with the Portkeys monitor, the HH7 7-inch monitor, you can just hook it up directly without using any external power source or HDMI cable. Now there is one thing that kind of annoys me with this transmitter receiver system, and that is when it connects, it makes this little chirping noise. Let's see if you guys can hear it. So this is not a manufacturing defect. This is their first transmitter, so I was told by their engineering department they're gonna make another version which doesn't have that chirping. But it's very faint, so unless you're really reliant on your audio, I wouldn't worry about it, but just note that it is there. And that's that. If you're interested in this product, go ahead and check it out in the link in the description box below. Also, give this video a big like and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel with notifications turned on. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!